game, but they have allowed 100 or more points 4 times, and right off the tap, a left side layup for Sarju Patel. Eric, it's going to be tough to get regular commentary in because they whip the ball down the floor from defense to offense, both clubs.
Yeah, absolutely, and you will notice Dean Knoll in the starting lineup tonight. An injury to Jordan Jones is going to keep him sidelined.
For the senior Knoll, his second career start. Jameer Jordan missed the jumper, read in transition, and they turn it over. Mason Vandemortel down on the right to Jameer Jordan. Top scorer on the ball club is number 4, Devin Milton, who stops, pops, and drains a left baseline 3. So an early lead for the Wolves in our opening 50 seconds. Knoll trap left side off to Dolan, to Chris Mannon. The internet and social media is still blowing up over Mannon's dunk in the Coppin State game, but the second turnover against the Big Red offensively.
Yeah, a little bit out of sorts for Cornell. Again, we talked about how dialed in Keuka College will be. We'll have to see where the Big Red are at. They had a nice win Friday against Coppin State, a big game against Virginia Tech coming up. They'll need to focus here, though, to be able to get the W.
Catch and shoot, missed by Knoll. Ball is back tapped by Patel. Out to Mannon, straightaway 3 off the rim. Volleyball on the glass, and rebound caromed in by Mason Vandemortel. He averages just under 5. They quickly get down in transition, Cornell. DJ Billings, who did not start the last game. He replaces Nana Oteng in the starting lineup. Speeding into the paint is Jordan. To the baseline, Billings. Kick it back out. The drive for Tien. Ball is deflected and knocked out of bounds, so Cornell recovered defensively after 2 early turnovers on the offensive end of the floor.
Yeah, it's a better defense there from Cornell. You'll see it almost every position. I think actually right now at every position there is a height and length advantage for Cornell.
Jordan, the number 2 scorer, 11 points a game, got it blocked, followed up, second effort. No, easy rebound for Kobe Dixon. Had 9 on Friday night to Patel. Off to Mannon, the penetration, right to left layup, Dean Knoll. Greg Dolan, my correction. Cornell with 2 assisted baskets and the lead back to the Big Red.
Something we've talked about, or we'll talk about on this broadcast, we've talked about in the past. Brian Earl wants to see baskets assisted. He really wants to key into that number. Cornell did a lot of it last Friday night. We'll see what happens this afternoon.
Keuka, who shoots just 29% from 3, gets a 3-ball from Vandemortel as they drive in by Mannon. Missed the shot, but there's Dolan with the offensive rebound for the right side lay-in. Back and forth we go. Our first tie of the contest at 6-6 as 3 Cornell subs come to the scorer's table. The penetration by Will Tien. It's going to be a traveling violation. Sean Hansen, Keller Boothby, and Nazir Williams. 3 of the super subs off the bench. We anticipate and we will see the entire roster by some point this afternoon, I'm sure.
Agreed. I believe we'll see the entire roster on the floor tonight if form holds. But even if it wasn't this opponent, Cornell is playing a ton of guys. They're seeing it as an advantage. They're seeing it as an advantage, particularly later in games. They're able to play a more up-tempo, press you full court type of basketball, in part because of the number of guys they play.
Knoll with the left side layup. 8-6 Big Red lead. Substitution. Oh. Zaquan Warren, who just checked into the game with a layup attempt. And here's a steal on the other end of the floor by the Wolves. They'll come down into the front court. Second tie of the game at 8-8. They tie it up top. There's a scrum for the loose ball. Nana Oteng, downstate product from Queens, New York, got tied up. Fortunate that they have the arrow possession. It'll stay Keuka Wolves ball. Deadlocked at 8-8. 3:37 in from Newman Arena here in Ithaca, New York.
Yeah, Oteng, one of 3 double-digit scorers on the season for the Keuka College Wolves.
Lorenzo Bicknice also into the game, number 24. Catch and shoot, deep right baseline, counted for Nana Oteng. Third 3-ball for the Wolves. Boothby tries to answer for Cornell, no. Rebound fumbled at the baseline by Oteng. They'll get it ahead in transition, and here they come with Kobe Shriver. So both teams liberally subbing on their bench. The way they play, the pace that they play, you're going to have to sub a lot of guys. Deep left side three is missed by Schreider. Red get the rebound. Williams in transition. Bolting from the right for the power layup. Nazir Williams. Reigning Ivy League Rookie of the Week, had that 21-point effort, which is what we expect.
Absolutely, and we will see. Cornell needs to shoot better from three. It's obviously early, but 0 for 3 in the early going. And right on cue, Isaiah Gray says, take that, Mr. Taylor. I'll knock down the first 3 of the ball game.
You dialed it up perfectly, Captain. Lead back to Cornell. Steal at midcourt. Hansen will drive with one hand and throw it down. Sean Hansen. We saw his fellow sophomore teammate Chris Mannon do that on Friday night. And Hansen with a ferocious one-hand throwdown.
Yeah, that absolutely was. Just cradles the ball in one hand. You'll see it here in a second. Great steal there at midcourt, and just takes the ball in one hand and just throws it on down.
Our director, Johnny Lukács, right on plus with that replay highlight. Come down into the front court. Jameer Jordan lost the ball. He'll get it back. Kick it to the elbow. Billings. To the right side it goes. Stopping, popping, dropping a three-point shot is Mason Van de Mortel. Van de Mortel has 2 3-pointers. The Wolves have hit 4 threes out of their 6 baskets. 15-14 Big Red, and a couple of subs coming in once again as Dean Knoll comes back into the ball game for Cornell. First team foul of the half against the Big Red. The visitors with 2. 1-point Cornell lead. Gray, can he make it 2 in a row? Off the right side of the rim. Rebound got tracked down by Devin Milton, who's back in the ball game. As Jameer Jordan hits Milton, skids to the foul line, lean in, shot air ball. Heads up play by Milton, came in as the club's top scorer, falling out of bounds and threw it off the leg of a Cornell player.
Yeah, nice play there. Keuka College has opened the game shooting well from beyond the arc. That was something they've struggled with this season, under 30%, especially for a team that relies on the shot so much. That's trouble, but so far tonight, they've been 4 of 6.
Tee and trap, got it off to Billings, skip it up top, Van de Mortel, there he is again. He's like Keller Boothby was on Friday night. Catch and shoot, 9 points for Mason Van de Mortel. He came in as an 8-point scorer. Lead back to the Wolves at 17-15. Hansen tries to tie the game, no. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession back to Keuka College. Wolves making no bones about it. They're going to run, they're going to gun, they're going to press you on defense, as is Cornell right now. The steal by Isaiah Gray. Slithers inside for a left side layup.
Yeah, this pressure has started to give Keuka College some fits. I think it's a level of athleticism and length that they're not used to, but man, they are not afraid to shoot the basketball, and they are knocking them down early.
The lefty stroke for Jameer Jordan. He's the second leading scorer on the ball club. Max Sandberg, senior from Rye, New York, number 25 into the game. Speaking of shooters, Boothby. Left wide open, does what he does best, strokes the 3 ball, 20-20.
And that's been one of the problems for Keuka is as much as they score, 95 points a game, they're 0-7 because defensively they've been giving up so many.
Red in transition, this is Gray wearing that familiar white headband. Williams back to Gray, faked at the baseline, got hit over the back by Devin Milton. See if they rule it a shooting foul as we'll take a look on the replay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a shooting foul. Great heads-up play by Isaiah Gray there. Gets the 2 Keuka defenders in the air and goes to the line for 2.
One of several New York City products on this Big Red roster from Martin Luther King High School. Hails from the borough of Brooklyn, New York. And he's quickly got his 6th point off the bench. Cornell's bench routinely outscoring its opposition in this 8-game start. And Brian Earl, liberally substitutes. Normally in a tight game, plays anywhere from 8 to 12 players. Obviously, on a Friday night, was able to empty the bench.
He was. I think we'll see what happens tonight. It might be much of the same. Going to be interesting to see what Coach Earl does, as the season goes on, as they get into Ivy League play. This system has really very much been working for them. They're able to keep that pressure up. The team, they've got some, guys that do a little bit more, a little bit less. Everybody can do something out there, and everybody's earning their minutes thus far this season.
Milton with a runner, barely nicked the rim, kept the ball in play, kicked it to the baseline, Jameer Jordan, back it goes, three-pointer by Van de Mortel, he missed it. Rebound Boothby, Red, break in transition, Mannon, Dixon, skip, Keller, stops, pops, off the rim, ball bounced out, snatched by Tien, threw it into the front court, stolen away by Boothby. Red have numbers. Dixon underneath, powered his way up and got fouled. This will clearly be a two-shot foul as Kobe Dixon went strong to the right baseline. Eric, he might have had his most complete game as a Cornell player on Friday night. 9 points and 9 assists against Coppin State. He'll get 2 shots.
Yeah, he's played very well. He actually, what's funny on that one, if you actually jump back a little bit more up or a little bit more up and back, you're able to use your body more. Because, again, as good as he is, he wants to find a way to get that to be an and one, where he gets fouled and he makes the basket. Again, he's played really, really well this season. As I've talked about, I think he's one of, if not their best passer on the team. He can knock down the outside shot, and he's also skilled with his back to the basket.
A pair of free throws for the Holcomb, Kansas tri-captain. 45th game in a Cornell uniform, his 14th start. Couple of subs back in for Keuka. Among them, Kobe Schreiber, who's trying to bring the ball up against the double team pressure, and it's knocked out of bounds. And Keuka to inbound from side court. 12:09 in our opening half. Entertaining offense it's been, and a 4-point lead for Cornell.
It is. We keep seeing these fun games, Barry, whether it's Friday night or tonight. But these teams are going up and down. And, man, I mean, really credit Keuka College. It's 6 for 9 now from beyond the arc.
Nana Otang with a three-pointer for Keuka. Ball is missed off the shot by Patel. Rebound snatched by the Wolves. Number 15 back into the game, Daniel Obunse from the borough of Queens. We got a lot of downstate products here, but the strip, the steal by Dolan, filling the lane, left side Patel. He's had a couple of transition layups, second basket for Patel, and the assist by Greg Dolan. They flip it down into the front court. Zaquan Warren goes up off the side of the window. No. Reds snatch it. End-to-end pace continues. Mannon trying to triple team. Dribble through minutes and 45 seconds. They've hit 7 of 10 three-point field goals.
Well, yeah, that's what's, again, I talked about it earlier in the broadcast. I'll mention again, under 30% from 3 coming into this ball game. They make another one, so that's going to put them at 8 for 11. Incredibly hot shooting to begin.
Kobe Schreiber dialing it up. And the Red in transition on the other end. The third layup for Sarju Patel. Back and forth we go. 28-26 the home club. Fumble it at the foul line. Get it back to Nana Otang. Little shot fake, the pivot. Schreiber, pass intended for Otang, stolen by Dolan. A conventional right side lay-in. Patel and Dolan with 12 of the 30 Big Red points out of that starting backcourt.
Yeah, now that's 15 points off of turnovers for Cornell. I think that's now 7 turnovers for Keuka, becoming a problem. They're just not used to the length and athleticism of Cornell.
Second team foul of the half as Dean Knoll picks up his first foul. Longtime All-Ivy athletic communications director here at Cornell, Jeremy Hardigan, said, watching them on tape, Keuka College reminds him of the old Paul Westhead, Loyola Marymount of California basketball teams.
Yeah, no, for our older viewers, I think they'll absolutely get that one. It's just one of these games where you're going to have a shot clock, obviously, but it's going to come into play almost never.
Oh, the second rim rammer of the half for Cornell. A two-hand throwdown for Isaiah Gray. Second dunk of our first half. 32-26 Big Red lead. Ball is knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Wolves. 5 new Wolves come in under their first-year coach, Jake Scott. Technically in his first year, they played an abbreviated COVID season last year, joined the Empire 8 Conference, which our local D3 school, Ithaca College, used to be a part of before moving on from that conference, as Dixon had the right idea, try to hit Dolan, who fell down. Transition for the Wolves. Milton kicks it left. Tien back to Milton. The penetration, another skip, catch and shoot. Three-pointer missed by Billings. Rebound Dixon. Red have transition. Gray on the right. Looks, tosses it back out to Dixon. Dolan against the zone. They switch now. Pair number 4s, Milton guarding Dolan. Darius Irvin checks into the game for Cornell. The sophomore missed the right side shot. And transition comes Will Tien for the Wolves. They kick it left. Van de Mortel, who's missed his last 2 threes, misses another. Red track down the errant pass. Again transition. Irvin driving, scoops it up and in. Darius Irvin, still another product from Brooklyn, New York, with his first 2 points off the bench. Under 9 to play, 34-26 Cornell. It stays that way as they miss a right side 3, but the ball is scooped up by Jordan. Back it goes to Milton. He'll crank up another 3 ball. Both of his baskets from 3. 40th game in a Keuka College uniform. Devin Milton, the leading scorer. Patel for Cornell, right baseline 3-0. Ball is knocked out, scooped up by Milton. It's going to come down 1-on-2. Dipsy doodle move, no good. Rebound Dixon, ahead to Gray. Number 2, no. He'll softly lay it into the basket. Isaiah Gray working on a career first half, Eric Taylor. He has 11 points off the bench for Cornell. Stop and pop, missing is Jordan. Rebound Gray, ahead it goes to Dolan. Red in transition, the lead starting to widen right now as the shooting percentages are going down for the visitors. Dixon up top, left side Irwin. Penetration, ball got punched away. Dolan off the bounce, stop.
Using to their advantage the defensive prowess that they have, creating a lot of points off of turnovers. Also getting those points in the paint more so than Keuka College has really relied upon their 3.
Dolan, a 6-point scorer, has 8, so the 2 starting guards have 14. You throw in Knoll and Isaiah Gray, 27 points among 4 Cornell guards who have played this afternoon. And the 5th one is on the floor right now, Darius Irvin. Oh, quick crossover by Jordan, puts up a runner, no, and Boothby checked in off the media timeout, snatches the rebound. They're pressing the Wolves. Nazir Williams back into the game. He'll stop, pop, elbow, left side shot, knock it down, his 2nd field goal. Nazir Williams, he is 2 for 2. And the double-digit lead now at 40-29. In transition they go. Billings is stripped by Williams. He's quick, he's athletic, and he can play transition basketball. This is a lightning-quick backcourt with Irvin and Williams. On the floor, Guy Ragland Jr. as Williams blew his way to the basket, lost the handle on the dribble. We'll get it back outside of Marcus Fillion, Jr. from Rensselaer, New York. Boothby, no shot. Skip left, Fillion stops, pops, no. Ragland Jr., who loves to shoot threes, but claimed the offensive rebound. The Red will reset. Boothby's open. He's deadly. Keller Boothby, his 2nd 3. That gives him 9 over his last 2 games, and the lead widens, Eric, 43-29 Cornell.
Yeah, obviously Boothby's somebody Keuka College has talked about from 3 coming into the game. But what happens is, off of these offensive rebounds, it's a scattered defensively. You know, that's where Boothby can get open.
Van de Mortel missed another 3 after he hit his first 3. In transition, Irwin shoots. No. Offensive rebound, put up and foul. Ivy League, of course, gets going in earnest in January of next year. 3rd point and on cue. Upcoming games for Ivy League schools as Darius Irwin with 4 points off the bench. I've made the comparison. He looks physically like a guy that played for Mike Dement, Cornell coach in the mid-1980s, Michael Parker. Keller Boothby, there's going to be a backcourt foul or knockout. Keller Boothby's got the facial resemblance of former Big Red forward Josh Fagini.
He does, and
speaking of Boothby,
you can't
Josh
give him
couldn't shoot threes like Keller.
Well, there's not many guys that can shoot as well as Boothby has, particularly over the last couple of ball games.
Give him 10 now in the last 2 games, including this one. 48-29, the Big Red. Oteng off to the left, and the rejection by Marcus Fillion. More importantly, he kept it in play as Nazir Williams bolts down into the front court. Boothby committed himself. Ragland off to Williams. Whip it to the corner. Jordan Lewis, number 11, a 6'5" junior off the bench. His first appearance from Houston, Texas, knocks the ball out of bounds. As Williams goes to the bench, Chris Manning comes back in. It's mix and match, as we stated, for Brian Earl's club.
It is, very much so. And, you know, again, that's your third string center, I suppose, Ragland Jr. And you look at how good, how athletic he is. You know, he gets his hand on that ball. He had a deflection earlier, had an offensive rebound just in that possession. I mean, there's a bit of, problem of riches for Brian Earl this season with some of the talent he has.
Bunce got it off to the new player who checked in, Bradley Stone, a 6'7" sophomore. He missed the shot. In transition is Cornell. Ragland loves to shoot from the top, and he rattles home his first three-pointer of the afternoon. Guy Ragland Jr. He loves to pop from the top. And today you mentioned his rebounding prowess. Quickly, Oteng will bring it down into the front court. It's hard to get you in. He threw it away, number 2, threw it to number 2, Fillion. Transition, Patel, Manning, flush it! His second of the weekend. Rising in the paint, the emphatic one-hand throwdown, his first basket of the game. The sophomore from New Milford, New Jersey. Immediate timeout. We'll take a break ourselves. All Big Red on ESPN+. If you like basketball played above the rim, then you like Chris Manning. Second throwdown of the weekend. The first was a facial in Coppin State. This was a breakaway slam, but entertaining nonetheless. I've talked to several longtime Cornell basketball followers. Reminds them of the late, great James Paul, Eric, who played on the 1988 Ivy Championship team coached by Mike Dement. Just went above the rack whenever he could.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Chris Manning does much the same. You know, didn't have a huge game on Friday, but had the biggest play with that flush down the middle.
Jameer Jordan with a more conventional 2-point shot. He's got 5, and now the steal by Devin Milton. Fire it into the front court. Jordan will pop again, no, and they got like a 5-second shot clock, Keuka College. There's no set offense in this game today. Patel with a beautiful pass, and Knoll with the right side lay-in. Dean Knoll, his second basket for 4. Sarju Patel with the dime. 55-31. Here comes Jordan. Pressure by Patel. Whip it right of the foul circle. Billings beats his man and goes in for the right side layup. DJ Billings, 6'3" product from Rochester. Catching it is Manning, but he was too far underneath the basket to put it above the rim. Guy Ragland, he can fire from there. And Eric, he's got a very dependable top of the circle 3-point stroke. Guy Ragland Jr.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And a little surprised Keuka College is giving up to him. I don't think they'll let him take such an easy one the third time around.
Billings, foul line jumper, back rim, front rim, and down. 2 consecutive baskets for DJ Billings. Back and forth we go. Ragland again. It's pick your poison with this Cornell offense. Guy Ragland Jr. Boothby and Ragland with 6 combined threes off the bench and a 61-35 basketball game, Cornell. Gray back into the lineup. Step back lefty shot. Jordan barely nicked the rim. Another rebound. Ragland Jr. ahead to Gray. 2-on-2. Bounce pass to Manning. Accelerates, lifts off the floor, and lays it in from the right side. He's just got tremendous lift, Chris Manning.
Yeah, he does. He's a tremendous athlete. Again, I dare say Cornell's best athlete. I'm sure guys on the team would debate that, but you know, he is a man among boys, especially in these Division III games.
Transition for the Red. Patel caught it between two players. Oh, missed the left side layup. Ball is stolen away by Manning. Kick it left, null. Catch and shoot. Three-pointer, no. And the rebound to the Wolves. And here comes Jameer Jordan pushing the throttle. Left side three, launched and missed by Billings. Red come back in transition. Neither team takes a break. Isaiah Gray dials it up, no. And Jameer Jordan to push the throttle for the visitors. We've got a combined 7 players to check in at the scores table. Head of the circle three, Mason Van de Mortel. His 4th three of the afternoon. Unofficially, I've got Keuka College for 11 three-pointers. 63-38 score, Big Red. Manning dribbled into a double team. Knocked away by Jameer Jordan.
And they allow a 3rd three that's largely uncontested. You know, and I think that's some of the pieces for Keuka College as they develop this program is to get more focused defensively. It's not as much fun, but that's what it's going to take for them to play winning basketball.
Manning with the dump off to Hansen. Shot got blocked by Jordan Lewis. Last touch by Sean Hansen. So there you go, E. A nice defensive play. They were listening to you during the timeout.
Absolutely.
Jake Scott said, Eric Taylor said, let's lock down on defense.
If only it was that easy. I think all of us could be basketball coaches.
Manning fouling Nana Otang. One more note on Keuka College. They came in launching 339 threes and hit only 99 of them. They've hit about a 10th of their number this afternoon.
Yeah, it's over double the number of threes that their opponents have taken. So you know what they're trying to do. That's what they were dangerous early on. I mean, they're hitting those threes. They are absolutely a dangerous ball club. That three-point shooting has come a little bit more down to earth. As you see a long shot to what you would want to see is after these 20 minutes to say that Keuka College continued to give it, you know, from an effort standpoint. They have tough matchups right there against Kobe Dixon. You know, they're giving away probably 6-8 inches. You know, you've got to try and front the post. You know, there's a reason why, you know, that height matters in this game, and you see it right there. But what you want to get is that continued effort for Keuka College.
Officially the 4th dunk of the game for Cornell. 4 different players, and there is turnover number 15 against the Wolves, and Cornell gives it right back to them with their 7th turnover.
Yeah, Cornell's been a little bit sloppy. Some of it is going to be normal and natural. When you're playing this much of an up-tempo style, you have a lot of possession, so you're likely to turn the ball over more times. But Cornell needs to keep an eye on that, as you say, as they lead into some more tough non-conference and then Ivy League games.
Nice second effort. Follow your own shot for Devin Milton, the junior from Louisiana. Comes off a 17-point effort in a loss to Madai earlier in the week. Shot was missed by Manning. And here comes Jordan from your hometown of Albany, New York, Eric. Penetration inside, using his body to screen the defender is Will T, and he's got his first basket of the game.
Yeah, nice use of his body, and something Keuka College hasn't done a ton of, trying to take it to the hoop.
Here's an assisted layup in transition. Sarju Patel, the tri-captain, the transfer from VMI in his first season with the Big Red. He's got 8 points. Back and forth we go. Top of the circle. Jordan not even close on the three. Transition for the Red. Patel used the body, didn't get the shot. Rebound Wolves. They come down with Milton in the paint. He is fearless. Devin Milton becomes the first double-figure scorer of the second half as Patel comes back. Right to left layup. He's a double-figure scorer. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of double-figure scores between the two rosters before this half is over. 71-44 Cornell.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some track meets, especially with the different ball clubs you and I have called over the years, but I think this one might take the cake as far as just being up and down and the shot clock largely being meaningless.
Van de Mortel under pressure, barely hit the glass. Dolan ahead to Manning. Here comes number 2. The tomahawk slough for Chris Manning, his second of the game, his third of the weekend. Media timeout. We'll come back with that highlight for you. You're watching the Ivy League and college basketball on ESPN. Entertaining highlight to open this media timeout is Chris Manning. The second for him, 5 dunks on the Dunk-O-meter for the Big Red fans this afternoon from their home club.
The Big Red Dunk-O-meter is definitely out, and we've had a couple of them from different folks, and we shall see. I wouldn't be surprised to see some more as the game rolls on.
Cornell's out-rebounded the Wolves, now 27-20. Boothby, Hansen, among others, into the game. Oh, a pretty little turnaround, left-handed hook that got the roll for Sean Hansen. His second basket of the afternoon.
Yeah, beautiful move by Hansen. Cornell, just the way the offense flows, they don't tend to have a lot of back-to-back basket moves for the big men, but he, like Hansen, like his other two backcourt mates, or front court mates, pardon, can really score the ball inside if given the opportunity.
Ball is knocked out of bounds by Cornell. Zaire Williams also into the game. Dean Knoll and our Josh Fagini lookalike, Keller Boothby. Nana Otang into the lineup as well for Keuka, along with Zaquan Warren. He is number 1. Ball is lost by Otang, picked up by Warren with the shot clock buzzer. Winding down. It's the first shot clock violation, at least of the second half, Cornell is forced defensively.
Yeah, I think the shot clock, as much as we jokingly call it meaningless, has actually come into play 2 times here in the second half for Keuka College.
Backdoor cut. Knoll got it from Hansen. Kick it to the deep baseline. This is Williams, short on the shot. Transition comes Otang, chased by 2 Cornell players, but Nana with his first 2-point basket of the afternoon. He's got 8, 75-46. Williams bolts into the paint, kick out up top. No, stroke a 3 ball. His first start of the season, the second of his career, the Shawnee High, New Jersey, Medford Lakes, New Jersey native, with his first 3 of the game to give him 9, 78-46. Kick to the corner, 3-point basket, hit the rim, top of the backboard and go for 8 field goals combined. And we still have 15 minutes plus in the second half.
Yeah, you kind of, with these 2 teams, you get a game's worth of shooting and scoring in a half. That was the joke made to me at halftime. It was a lot of years that Cornell was getting 65 in the entire game. So very different ball game. Cornell also continuing to use its length advantage on the boards, getting another offensive rebound.
Nazir Williams with the basket as we come the other way under pressure. Cornell locked down the shooter who came to the basket, and Warren. In transition comes Williams. Oh! Hung in the air, clutched the ball with the hand and slithered towards the basket. Nazir Williams with 2 consecutive field goals to give him 8. It's like every different player's got a highlight in this ball game offensively.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way, and many of the players everybody that's gotten in, save Max Sandberg and Marcus Fillion, have gotten in the scoring column.
The muscular Isaiah Gray snatches the defensive rebound off to Williams. Floater from the left baseline, no. And the track meet continues with Kobe Shriver to bring it across for Keuka. Nana from the back iron, no. And Gray falling to the floor, kept it in play. Taken back by Nana Otang. Little hesitation, kick it to the corner. Player is double teamed, that's Daniel Abunse. Throw it right. Abunse goes up, count the basket. That's a highlight for Keuka. Great second effort by Daniel Abunse, the junior from the borough of Queens, New York, with his first basket off the bench. A great second effort.
Yeah, beautiful play by Abunse right there, and he will get the honor of being the first free throw shooter for Keuka College this evening.
Right on the numbers, Mr. Taylor. As Abunse has been in double figures 3 times through the first 7 games. As a team, they're at 77%, which leads the Empire 8, but he is short on the front end of the 1-and-1. Darius Irvin, his first second half action, the sophomore guard, as he'll take the dribble handoff, stop and fire and bury a 3. First of the afternoon for Darius Irvin. He's got 7 off the bench. 85-48 basketball game, Cornell. And we have still not hit the halfway mark of the second half. Catch and shoot, 3-pointer is missed by Shriver. Sandberg to Gray, layup counted for points 12 and 13. The sophomore from Brooklyn, New York, continues to add to his career high as we come the other way. Another 3-pointer missed by Shriver. Transition, Sandberg, Boothby, layup. Beautifully done for Cornell. Keller Boothby's not used to traditional layups. But
no.
he got one there in transition.
He's used to shots from beyond the arc, as you see. Keuka College wants this to be an up and down ball game. And some of these misses haven't done a great job getting back, though. Credit to them on this possession, they did.
Credit to Kobe Dixon, who just smothered Zaquan Warren on the defensive end of the floor. Dixon's going to catch it in the post. What do we get? Is it a block against Keuka?
Yeah, it's going to be a block against Keuka. Kobe Dixon did a nice job drawing the foul there against Warren from Keuka.
Well, to your point that you made in the pregame, Warren at the Division III level, he's a big post man at 6'4", 215 pounds. The trouble is you're up against the 6'9", 240-pound senior big man.
Yeah, who can move and knows how to use it. To his credit, that's actually not a bad play when you're giving up a lot of size to try and draw the offensive foul. But he was either inside the charge circle or still moving.
Fresh legs for the Wolves off the bench. We'll get them for you as the game continues on. Isaiah Gray off the bounce. Ragland Jr. back into the game, and he throws up a little baby hook for 2 points. 11 for Guy Ragland Jr. That ties his career high set against another Division III opponent earlier this home campaign in Wells College. So Guy Ragland Jr. into double figures. And a pretty floater for Devin Milton. He has tied Vandemortel for the scoring lead with 12. 91-50. The Red going to hit the century mark for sure. The question is what the final score is going to be. They are awfully close to their personal single game best as a team scoring the ball. Marcus Fillion, the junior, into the game, his first appearance of the second half. Sandberg with a handoff to Irvin. Back to Sandberg. Guy Ragland Jr. off the window just before the shot clock. Keuka played good defense with the Red, patiently worked it in for a left side layup.
Yeah, absolutely, and Ragland did a nice job just to get that shot off in the nick of time.
Billings, pass stolen away by Gray, shovel it off to Irvin, penetrates to the foul line, pull-up jump, rimmed out, tipped by Fillion, back to Irvin, drives from the right, layup, counted, foul, Darius Irvin. He is working on a career afternoon, points 8 and 9, the free throw upcoming, but first our official media timeout, number 2 of the half. You're watching Cornell Keuka basketball on ESPN. The sophomore guard Darius Irvin has now tied his career high, Eric Taylor, but another stat posed to us by Jeremy Hardigan, the All-Ivy Athletic Communications Director here at Cornell. 32 assists for Cornell, that's a single game record. 32 of the 39 baskets have been assisted for Cornell, and that is a record book.
Yeah, that's quite an incredible record. Cornell had 31 against Harvard back in 2009. Had close to that number, 30 against Wells College. It's something you see. I mean, it's three of the, actually now four of the top numbers for assists in the 100+ years at Cornell are during this ball club. Now, I don't know when exactly they started assists. I don't think it's truly a fair comparison, but this team is excellent at passing the ball.
It is a record setter this afternoon as we approach the halfway mark. Cornell 5 away from the century number. Ragland Jr. looked the other way. They knocked the ball away in transition. Devin Milton. To the corner it goes, right over the rim. Jameer Jordan, tracked down, however, by DJ Billings. Kick it to Jordan, gets it back to Milton, stops, fires, he'll get fouled. Not going to say a mental mistake, but they move the ball so quickly, you just got to be aware. Guy Ragland Jr. fouling Devin Milton. This is great ball movement by the Wolves.
Yeah, it was. It was excellent ball movement. You want to contest the shooter. Ragland Jr. just a little bit too aggressive on that.
Now we're both feet beyond the arc?
I believe so. I think it's going to be 3 shots, though. I did not see an official signal.
I'm making you work pretty hard today with these split-second questions, so we'll try to dial it back just a bit. 13 points for Devin Milton.
I'm happy to take him, and he will get 3, as everybody on the broadcast can see.
14 points for Devin Milton. He's been in double figures 5 games this season. Twice he's hit 19 points. And now he has 15 points. I hope I'm saying this correctly. Hails from Opelousas, Louisiana. It's a long way to come to Keuka, New York, Keuka Park, from Louisiana.
It is, but I have been on the Keuka campus. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now, I'm sure, and that's Max Sandberg's first bucket of the ball game. Absolutely gorgeous in the summer. I'm sure it's a little bit like the East Hill here. Can get dark and cold in the winters, but in the summers, it's absolutely incredible.
I'm sure those Keuka College viewers are appreciating the plug for their college as we come right. Layup counted for Dean Knoll. Becomes still another double-figure scorer in his second career start. The senior from Medford, New Jersey, now with 11 points. Will cross over Jameer Jordan. Back to Milton, penetration. He'll get fouled at the baseline. I could see where in Empire 8 play, these two guards, Milton and Jordan, can give a lot of trouble to Division III opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. They're giving trouble to a good Cornell basketball team here. A lot of quickness. One of the things they struggle with a little bit, they don't have the size, as you see the matchup there against Nazir Williams with him and Jordan. But they're tough from beyond the arc, and against some smaller competition, they're going to be much better taking it to the hoop.
From the baseline, missing is Devin Milton. Incidentally, Cornell has hit the century mark, so they move closer to another record. Left side 3. Sweet, sweet stroke for Nazir Williams. He's got 11, his first three-pointer of the afternoon. I believe Cornell's got 11 threes unofficially. More importantly, it's 103-53. Bounce pass inside, pretty pass, layup counted, Jameer Jordan. So the Wolves' effort, they are still playing hard. It's an effort. It's a credit to their coach, Jake Scott.
Credit to the coach, credit to the program, and credit to Max Sandberg. We'll have to look. I think that 5 points may be a career high for him.
Well,
as
Eric,
well.
It's his first points of the season, Max Sandberg.
Yeah, now he's got 5. He had the 3 in the corner with that layup.
It continues at both ends. Will Teen back into the game, number 20. This is Van Mortel. Van de Mortel goes up, and I got screened out by the ref. Don't know if someone got a piece of that shot by Van de Mortel. Ragland had a notion up top. Fillion, he's got some length. Beautiful pass into Sandberg, missed it under pressure. Wide open from the baseline, Williams! Second consecutive 3 for the reigning Ivy League Player of the Week. Ties his second best scoring effort of 14 as they come left. Not even close was Tien. Red come down with Williams. We talk about comparisons, and I know this is a lofty comparison, Eric. You've heard me say this before, as Ragland Jr. got his shot block and muscled it up. Ragland Jr. now with a personal best 15 points. Nazir Williams athletically reminds me a bit of the great Lewis Dale.
I knew where you were going, and it's
Incidentally,
tough.
Van de Mortel hits a three-pointer. But it is tough, but he's got some similarities in the game in terms of statistical numbers and of the all-time game leaders for Cornell.
Yeah, absolutely, Barry. So this is 45 made field goals so far for Cornell. Is third most all-time. The 110 points is tied for second most all-time. Now it's a clear solo second, 113 points. So fans out there are quite likely to see the greatest scoring effort for Cornell all time. The record stands at 116 points. We are 3 off of that right now.
Incidentally, Darius Irvin now has a new personal best. He's got 16 points. Red. Going to play a little half-court defense now is Nana Otang against Irwin. Pull-up jumper, no. Another rebound. Number 43 of the day for Cornell. That one went to Sean Hansen. Irvin trap left baseline. Hansen, Sandberg, Williams. Hansen playing the post. Ball's deflected, picked up by Gray. Oh, a little pretty spin with the runner in the lane. Isaiah Gray. And the well just gets deeper in terms of talent on display for Brian Earl's Big Red.
Yeah, you see it. I mean, I think that's a huge credit to his recruiting. He's gotten a number of different guys in, and beautiful move there by Isaiah Gray.
And I have to think, well, with the exception of one player, he has used everybody who is healthy enough to play today. We'll have to see Irvin again. He'll fire, and he'll snap another three. I've got him now for 19 points.
And that is the all-time record. So the new record for Cornell all-time in points is no longer 1965 versus Colgate. It is now today versus Keuka College.
And the number will continue to widen. Look down at the scorers chart. Next thing you know, they're launching another three. You just got to be ready. Speaking of launching threes, Keuka does that. Transition, Williams. Is this showtime? No, it's a swoop and a right side lay-in for Nazir Williams. 16 points for the freshman from Nyack, New York. The steal by Williams. He'll get fouled by Nana Otang. It won't be a shooting foul, as that's the 4th team foul of the half against the Wolves. So a new personal game mark for points for Cornell today with 120, the visitors with 58. We'll have to also look at largest winning margin by the time this game is over, as Eric Taylor put to furious work using the media notes, again provided by Jeremy Hardigan. I don't think I've mentioned Jeremy 4 times in a game. This is the first time I've done that. You got to come up with something copy at this point in the ball game.
Yeah, the other interesting number that I know we don't have in the media guide, but would be curious to know, we have 7 double-figure scores for Cornell. So that's something I don't believe that I've ever seen in my tenure here.
Great ball movement. Gray missed it. Sandberg fouled at the shot clock. No, ball is punched out. Van de Mortel not used to driving in for 2-point baskets. He'll get fouled by Isaiah Gray. So again, what little praise you can heap on Keuka, with the scoreboard being what it is that they play hard and they hustle, and there's a transition layup attempt. They'll get 2 shots.
And I think that's what you asked me about it at halftime or just into the second half. What do you want if you're Keuka College? And that's what I said. I mean, there's obviously a talent differential. They're not going to be able to close that in the second half. What they can do is continue to play hard, continue to play their style of basketball, and they've absolutely done that.
We didn't finish our discussion, which we were beginning before the media timeout, on Nazir Williams. We'll get to that before the telecast is over. Again, it's just opinions, but it really speaks to the level of athlete that Brian Earl is starting to bring in at Cornell.
Yeah, I think it's athlete on the Nazir Williams. I thought the same thing the moment I saw him. Man, he kind of looks like Lou. It's just tough because Lou is one of the top 3, 5 all-time players
Yeah, no question.
at this university. So that comparison is unfair to any first-year player. But Nazir Williams is absolutely talented, and I think it's not only have some solid athletes here on this year's team. They have athletes that can do everything. They have athletes that can shoot. They can have athletes that can pass. They have athletes that can defend. And so, that's really, that secret ingredient so far for Cornell is really how unselfish this team has been, how well they played together, and how well they battled in certain games.
Mason Vandemortel now has a team-high 18 points, all of them from the three-point arc. Ragland underneath, he'll get fouled. Media timeout. Now our official final one of the half. We'll come back to Ithaca, New York. It's all Cornell on ESPN+.
Points, score record points, field goals, assists. I think that's it.
Cornell up to 62% shooting for the game. And Eric Taylor, you were just afforded the luxury of Jeremy Hardigan coming over and talking about more records set this afternoon.
Well, he didn't have any more than you and I had, Barry. So he had what we've talked to the viewers about.
But he was excited to tell you.
Well, he was, as he should be.
So, yeah.
I haven't been a part of a game with 3 records. I don't even know if we've had a game with 1. But so the records now are scoring, which continues to go. Now 121. It was 116. Field goals now at 49. The previous record was 47. And just smashing the assist record. Assists now are at 41, 10 over the previous record of 31.
And Guy Ragland Jr., the freshman from West Hartford, Connecticut, adds to his personal best. He has 17 points. And I believe when we talked during the timeout, everyone who was healthy and dressed has gotten into the game for Brian Earl's Big Red. There's 2 players that are not dressed this afternoon due to injuries. Left side, bank 3, rimmed out by DeMortel. Rebound Red, Sandberg to bring it down. Again, they're so deep up, they lob it to Ragland Jr. and he steps on the end line out of bounds. It's still quality minutes for guys that are lower down on the depth chart, only because there's only so many minutes you could distribute when you have such a deep team.
You're exactly right. It's still early. I mean, we talked about it. We keep hashing it over and over again. Cornell doesn't play last year, so it's been, beginning of the year, it was almost 600 days since they had played a basketball game. I think Coach Earl's still trying to figure out exactly who he's going to go to, and these are opportunities both for this season and for the future.
That's the beauty of scheduling. You have 90% of your non-leaguers before Ivy League play begins, so you can experiment, which is what they're doing, but there's no question this is the deepest team in his 6 years on the Big Red sideline. Sandberg stopped at the foul line, travel. Turnover-wise, that's number 9 against Cornell. They have forced 18 on the defensive end. With under 2 minutes to play, Cornell going to improve to 8-1 for the first time since 1967. And I'll tell you, highlight afternoon against a Division I opponent for Mason Vandemortel. He now has 21 points on 7 three-point field goals, which is the identical number that Keller Boothby had on Friday night in the win over Coppin State.
Yeah, Vandemortel has really shot the ball well. Been very impressive. We talked about it's that nice high release, got a ton of confidence, and Keuka College, the Wolves will find some bright spots, some silver linings, in today's ball game. I don't think they expected to come away with the win, but they've shown themselves very well, particularly some players like Vandemortel.
Jake Scott, their first-year coach, Victor, New York native, just outside of Rochester, has got some players, and we'll be interested to see how he does in Empire 8 play when that season begins shortly. For the Wolves, a minute to play, and Cornell going to give Brian Earl his 50th win as a head coach on the Big Red sideline. Fillion with a follow-up tap that almost went down. They'll kick it back out, and Cornell cannot run out the shot clock. But 50 wins now on the sideline for Brian Earl in less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, no, Brian Earl has done an absolutely great job, you know, at the East Hill here as Cornell run out the shot clock here. You know, he's finally gotten some more players. Obviously, he had the individual talent of a Matt Morgan, but didn't have a complete team. Also didn't necessarily have a team that was his type of player. His type of player being somebody that can do it all. You know, really talented shooters, passers, you know, guys that can, you know, score off the dribble. He needs that for the offense that he runs. He's starting to get those players, and you're seeing it pay some big dividends.
This probably the final possession of the game for Keuka. Cornell now 8-1 to start a season for the first time since 1967. Cornell now a perfect 2-0 all-time.